Namibia's Mining Weekly Online is talking to Nico Muller, the CEO of Impala Platinum. Nico, we see from your results that you've got a problem. It's called Impala Rustenburg.
Impala is a challenge for us, and I don't want you to expect overnight results. It employs 40,000 people, and the decline in Rustenburg has happened over many years. Very happy that we've just introduced Mark Monroe, very experienced mining professional, has run a similar sized operation, and he's already made an impact since his introduction. So we have to get the leadership addressed, and I think we've taken the first steps in that direction. We are looking at optimizing the current operations, so we want to improve productivities, particularly in the stope horizon. We want to get the pre-developed mine reserves sorted out. If you look at the capital investment at Rustenburg, you would have seen a significant increase in capitalized development, and that is to drive mineable reserves. And in doing that, we'll create more operational flexibility. So we want to do the best that we can to improve the current efficiency of the operation. Besides that, at our results last year in September, we announced a strategic review. Emerging from that has already been a declared saving or an aspirational saving of 1 billion rand over 2019-2020. We're not finished with the process. We believe that there's an opportunity to look at the shared services, the overheads, and optimize them further. Besides that, to the extent that it is required, we are not shying away from the fact that there may have to be restructuring within Rustenburg. We have already closed number 4 shaft, which had a very short life, but we didn't see it in our means to produce on a profitable basis on that end. So we've taken 10,000 ounces out of 4 shaft, and number 9 shaft has been put onto a harvest strategy, which means we are going to redeploy our teams to the growth shafts, and we are going to replace that with a outsourced a contractor model, and in that way try and optimize the remaining life on that shaft into a more profitable position.
Safety. I didn't like the fact that 6 people died in 6 months.
Very important issue for us, Martin. I mean, I think as with the rest of the industry, zero harm is top of our priority list. We are very disappointed in the 6 fatalities that we've had, and in fact we've had one additional one subsequent to the end of the financial reporting period. We have taken ourselves to task over the last number of months. We have had a number of leadership workshops with our unions, AMCU, with the DMR, and with our board health and safety committee. We spent a lot of time to analyze the root causes of the deterioration in safety, and we've come up with essentially 3 areas that we want to focus on. The first is leadership presence and effectiveness in the actual underground working place. We want to get our managers, ourselves, to spend more time underground, and when we are there, to be more attentive to the level of compliance to our very high standards and policies relating to safety and health. We have found that compliance is a key issue. Secondly, we want to look at increasing our organizational discipline. So to the extent that non-compliances are observed, what is our response to that? I believe that we have been too accepting of breaches, so we want to tidy that up. That forms part as well leads into the third component, which is to develop a more mature safety culture. We've had a very good example in Zimbabwe. They have, over the last decade, improved their operation. It's not very well known right now, but they used to have a very poor safety record. They have improved to world-class standards, and we can learn from the experience in Zimbabwe and transfer that knowledge into the Impala Rustenburg area.
That's fantastic. What else is happening in Zimbabwe that creates opportunity?
Well, of course, we've seen a change in the political environment in Zimbabwe. We are very, very happy about that. There's renewed hope. We are the leading player in Zimbabwe, and we believe there's significant opportunity to leverage off of that. In particular, the government has expressed a serious need for beneficiation, and I think that there's an opportunity for us to collaborate with the government and other existing players as well as new entrants. We would like to see that in a way which distributes the economic benefit equitably between shareholders, communities, employees and the government, and I think with the focus of economic development in Zimbabwe, it provides us with a new opportunity to collaborate in good faith with the government and to pursue those ambitions to the benefit of all parties.
You are exploring, you've got this partnership at Waterberg. That sounds good to me, because for every ounce we take out, we should be putting another ounce back. Most South African companies are not doing that at the moment.
It's more than just putting money into new ounces. It's the fact that it's different ounces that appeals to us. You know, when I look at our Rustenburg asset, which produces half of the ounces of the group, they are deep level conventional shafts. Now, whilst we are going to do the best that we can to optimize it to the best of our ability, I think structurally for deep level conventional shafts to compete with open cast and shallow mechanizable deposits is just infinitely hard, and therefore I think that they will continue anchoring the top end of the cost curve. So for us, strategically, it's really important. We've said it. We want to shift the balance of the portfolio to shallower, lower cost ounces, and Waterberg presents us with exactly that opportunity. We are delighted. We've just spent 408 million to invest in the project, with the option of increasing the 15% stake to an eventual 51% stake, and we believe that, combined with the new climate in Zimbabwe, which also is characterized by shallow mechanizable ore body, it provides us with a position to really change our competitive positioning in the long term.
What is demand like? Where is it coming from? Where is it likely to come from in the future?
Well, as far as demand is concerned, we are very encouraged by the fact that the global economy is growing, particularly in the four major economies. All the research reports that are available suggest that demand is not going to decline. You know, notwithstanding the automotive industry and what's being said about the diesel share in Western Europe, if we look at the entire market demand, both in automotive, jewelry and other sectors, we see a strong demand retaining forward. That, combined with the fact that capital investment from the industry as a whole has been muted over the last decade, means that the long-term fundamentals for the industry remain strong, and we are a firm believer and supporter of the PGM industry going forward.
Are you modernizing in any way? Are you doing something that's going to make you mine well?
I think in the last 5, probably 10 years, South African mining industry has not invested in its leadership. And its leadership's ability to manage a new and transformed workforce. How do you do that? So I think if you leverage that, you'll actually be able to get significant value. And that's actually the human element. So are we going to modernize? I said yes, the human element. We're going to deploy, I think, more modern management techniques, modern styles, modern planning, things like that, just to get a lot more value out of our business.